Hello everyone, my name is Gothic Cowplants and welcome back to Pleasant View. In today's episode, we are giving the broke trailer a much needed makeover. Well, I don't really know if it counts as a makeover because it still kind of looks just like a cheap, crappy house, but I did put a lot of time and effort into this one, and I'm pretty proud of how it came out in the end. But one thing I do want to say before we get any further into the video is after this first little section of the video, after the first few minutes, um the resolution of my screen changes and it's like really super zoomed in and annoying. And that's because sometimes I'll have like trouble launching The Sims 2 through the EA app, which I'm pretty sure everybody has trouble with that at this point. But I have to like clear the cache files in The Sims 2. And for some reason, whenever I did that the first time, it like reset all of my graphics rules and everything. So I had to go back in and edit all of those. And I had to like set the resolution of my screen and I messed it up. It's like way too big. So that is my bad. Hopefully it's not too annoying to watch. It's not like actual gameplay, so it shouldn't be that bad. But yeah, here I am picking the carpet for the entryway here. I wanted to go with kind of like a 1990s mobile home vibe, because, I mean, obviously the broke family doesn't have a lot of money. It's in the name. And I don't think they'd even be able to get like a mobile home brand new. I think they'd probably, I like to think that, this is like an already established trailer park and they just bought this mobile home that like is a couple decades old already. So here I am doing the kitchen, and I really liked this idea with the half walls with like the little fencing above it. I couldn't get one that like really matched the tone of the wood that I wanted to put on the wall, but I ended up just choosing that lighter one in the end, and I think it looks okay anyway. But yeah, here originally I was trying to go for like this really obnoxious pink kitchen. I don't end up going with that in the end. Thank God. But I just couldn't find like a backsplash to go with it. And in the end, I don't think I end up putting a backsplash at all. Um, and another thing I kind of had trouble with was the like front door area. I couldn't figure out what front door I wanted to use because I wanted like kind of a cheaper, crappy looking door, but I couldn't find one that was like centered in the 3 tiles. So I ended up just going with like a pretty average one. But I mean, I think it looks okay in the end because you'll see at the end I kind of like match the color of the door with the shutters on the windows. And I think it ends up looking okay. And then outside I went with like this shiplap that is kind of weathered and worn. It's a conversion from The Sims 4. And I think it looks a little bit more accurate than the original siding that the house had. Um, and I gave them like a tin metal roof. So I think that's pretty accurate to a mobile home as well. And then here I'm trying to decide what wood paneling I want to use on the wall. I end up going with that one with like the half wallpaper, which I think looks really nice and dated. I put that like all throughout the house except in the boys' room and the bathroom. So I have that wallpaper everywhere, and then this green carpet. I really put like a lot of time into Googling like mobile home trends of the 1990s. And like a big common theme that you'd see back then is either like green wallpaper or green carpet. And originally I wanted to go with like, if you play The Sims 4 and you have city living, there's a kind of like floral patterned carpet that is stained. So like when your Sims move into a crappy apartment, they have like this gross stained carpet. And I was going to use that, but I thought that was maybe just a little bit too on the nose, so I didn't end up going with that. And then right here, actually, I I loaded the game up and I spent like probably an hour working just on this little living room area right here. And then I like exited the game and went to check on the recording and found that I had not been recording the entire time. So at some point in time, you're going to see like a drastic jump from there being like no furniture in that little area to it being completely furnished and done. And I'm really sorry about that. I don't know how I made that mistake, honestly, because I literally remember like thinking to myself, okay, make sure you're recording, and then I still messed it up. So yeah, that part is not included in the video, but the rest of it is filmed, so I'm sorry about that. And I really struggled to get a dining table in this house, which I mean, honestly, this is not the type of family to like eat at the dining table anyway. So, hopefully it's not too big of a deal. I wanted to put it like in the middle there, but they obviously couldn't get to that refrigerator. Here, you can see me play testing it here. I had sent Dustin in there and he couldn't get to it. So I try to rearrange the kitchen a little bit and just see if I can make it work. But I ended up just pushing it out a little bit further. And I think it, looks fine all the same. I wanted to use that flamingo light because you'll probably remember Brandi has that like tacky flamingo light in the house originally. And I was like, I couldn't fit it in the kitchen area there. And so I said to myself, like, okay, I've got to use this god awful flamingo light somewhere in the house. And I was gonna like put it in her bedroom or something. And then I ended up just not doing that either. So unfortunately, Brandi has lost her flamingo light. But I did put flamingos, like the little plastic flamingos outside in the garden area when I do landscaping. So she has those in remembrance. And here I spent forever trying to do this little living room area until I finally figured it out. And unfortunately, I figured it out off camera, even though I thought it was on camera. But yeah, here I can't even tell you how long this was, like real time. I mean, it was treacherous. Just trying to find like a little side table to put here. And then I also couldn't decide whether or not I wanted to put like that ugly ratty chair right there. Because I mean, the Baroque family, like they probably wouldn't have a matching furniture set, But I ended up just actually giving them like a matching furniture set. And I think it still looks pretty outdated in the end. But all of this that you're seeing now, that like all that I'm putting in this area, it's not going to stay. And then here we go. You can see now the living room is actually furnished. And I'm really sorry that you guys didn't get to see that because that was one of the parts of the house I actually enjoyed furnishing the most. Because I did like a lot of work with the clutter and everything, and I think it looks really nice in the end. I put like some bills on the on the coffee table, like a pile of clothing on there that needs to be folded. There's like an old video game console on the floor with like some video game like DVD cases. Um, I I think there's like a lot of attention to detail in that area that's really nice. So of course it makes sense that that's the one area I would forget to record. But thankfully I didn't forget to record the rest of this. And you can see now, and probably for like the last 10 minutes or so, that the resolution of my screen has changed. It's like a lot more zoomed in and it's a lot bigger now. Um, I'm sorry about that. I really thought that I had changed it to like the same resolution as I had it on previously, but I mean, apparently that's not the case. So I'll definitely change that, and by my next video, it will be fixed. I'm not quite sure what the best resolution to film in is. The one that I've been filming in usually is like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's a little off because there's like the black bars on the side of the screen. And then obviously this one is just way too big. But I'll look into that and see if I can't find like a happy medium or something. And then here I am trying to clutter this desk. Cluttering like anything in The Sims 2, decorating in The Sims 2 in general is just like kind of a nightmare because you've got to constantly be typing in like the snap objects to grid false thing. Because in The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, you can just use the Alt key and like kind of place things off of the grid. Not in The Sims 2. You have to type in that cheat every single time. And then once you're done, you've got to type in like snap objects to grid true, I think it is. So it's really a hassle, but I got through it in the end, and I think we have like a pretty nicely furnished house as a result. So this here is the boys' room. So Dustin and Bo are going to sleep in here. And I was going to put, or I don't know if I was going to, I might still put her in there. But Brandi's baby that she had in my Let's Play, she had a girl. And so I don't know where I'm going to put her when she ages up. There's a long pause here. I don't know what I was doing. But for right now, I just have the baby sleeping in a crib in Brandi's room. But when she ages up, I'm not quite sure where we're going to put her. I was thinking about maybe getting like a divider, like one of those wall divider things, and putting it in this room and then giving her like her own little area while the boys have these bunk beds. But I put like too much furniture in here, so I don't even think that's an option. So we'll have to find somewhere to put her. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on the boys' room as well, just cluttering everything and like putting all these posters and everything. Here, I'm placing like all these random posters on the wall, and they don't stay where they are on the wall. I just wanted to like look at all of the options that I had and that like I wanted to put in here. And I end up putting a lot of them, well, you can see right here, I'm putting it like behind or on the wall beside the bunk bed. This bottom bunk is going to be Dustin's bunk, and the top one is Bo's bunk. And so I put like these decorations that I think Dustin would put, and then up top I put like some of the kids' drawings. So I really tried to decorate this bedroom like appropriately for both of the boys. Obviously, it kind of fits Dustin more just because this was only his bedroom originally. But I did try and throw in some stuff for Bo. I put like a little toy box in here and some little kid decorations on the wall in some places. So it's definitely still his room, just kind of more so fits a teenager. But I put these little rainbow Christmas lights up that I thought looked really nice. I did the same thing in the Caliente household, except I used just like the regular white fairy lights. And I think that these rainbow ones look really good in here. I saw somebody, I think, on Reddit do this, so this is like not entirely my idea. But here I am putting a bunch of clutter on top of their dresser. I put like that little jar with like some coins in it, and there's like receipts underneath it, and then there's like some papers on the desk, I'd imagine, from Dustin's school, talking about like all the trouble he's getting into. Um, or maybe their bills, because I mean, Dustin is the one that's paying the bills in this household, even though he's like 16 years old. Brandi does not have a job. And then I spend like kind of a long time trying to find like a final clutter item to put on top of this dresser. And I end up just leaving it blank, I think, because like there's not really anything good to put up there. And I wanted to use that bookshelf that Dustin had in his room originally, that one right there with like the cinder blocks on the side of it. And I had it in the hallway originally just because that area was like big enough that I wanted to have two bookshelves, but I didn't want it to match because like this is the Broke family. They're not going to have like matching furniture. So I just took it from out there and put it in here so it wasn't like repeating the same piece of furniture super close together or anything. And then I actually went and grabbed this piece of clutter from the desk in the hallway and put it on Dustin's desk. So it kind of looks like, you know, maybe he's doing his homework once in a blue moon. When he's not like, you know, slumming it downtown, he, I guess, can focus on his algebra or something. And I did put one computer in this house. It's in the hallway. And it's like one of the cheaper computers. It's a custom content computer, and it is like the one of the Monique's hacked computers, but it looks like it's from the early 2000s, so it's obviously, you know, pretty old. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm almost done with the boys' room here. I'm just putting like final or finishing touches of clutter and everything on the walls. I really wanted to use like that Sims 4 conversion with like all the posters and everything. And I couldn't find a swatch that I really loved for Dustin's room, but I ended up going with the one on that front wall right there with like the greens and blues and like the big X on one of the posters. Um, and I think it looks okay in the end. And then I put a little toy box in here just so that Beau can have like something of his own in this bedroom. And I put these little fish on the wall, which I think look really cute. And then I switched that toy box out for that little octopus one. So I think that looks pretty cute. And Beau has like his own little section of the room there. And then I put more of these lights up. Um, put I put those posters back on the wall, but here I was trying to like squeeze in a mirror somewhere, but it didn't end up working. So I just put those posters back right there. And I don't, damn, how long did I spend on this room? Yeah, I had to have spent like probably an hour real time focusing on just this room. But in the end, it turned out really well, so I don't even mind. But yeah, it definitely took me a long time. And I ended up not putting any curtains in here because, I mean, the Broke family kind of gives me the vibe of like tacking a blanket to the wall as curtains. So I just didn't give them any curtains. I did it in like the hallways and in Brandy's room, but the boys, I didn't get bothered to give them any. They have blinds in there. And I made sure also to choose like a kind of yellowing color of these blinds. So I think that is a really nice little detail. I wish that they had like blinds that were kind of broken, but they don't. So I had to settle with just the yellowing regular blinds. And then here is this bathroom, which I also really struggled with. I wanted to go with like this super 1980s, 1990s, like pink bathroom. And I ended up making it work in the end, but originally I kind of struggled with it. And I did make the bathroom like one, well, not one tile, I guess it's like 3 or 4 tiles. I made it like a little bit thinner so that I could have more space in the boys' room. and it really made it kind of a hassle to like squeeze everything in this room. In the end, I didn't even end up putting like a toddler potty chair in here, which is gonna suck because we need that for the current baby. But we'll just probably have to put that in Brandy's room on the carpet. And then there's not a lot of bathroom decorations in The Sims 2 either. There's like this really nice object if you play The Sims 3 that came with like seasons, I believe. It's this shelf that you can like put above the toilet and it's got like some soap and stuff on it and some towels. I use that thing all the time. Um, I want to go looking for like a conversion of that. So I'll have to scour the internet and see if I can't find any Sims 3 conversions. Because I mean the Sims 3 did have like some nice stuff. Nowadays, by like modern standards, I go back and play The Sims 3 and I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? But some stuff is nice for The Sims 3. And then here I am scrolling through the literal like hundred of pages that I have for bedspreads, and it took me forever to find a bedspread to settle on one for Brandy's room here. I don't even know if I end up going with this bed in the end. Well, I think I end up going with this bed, but like I look at some other ones first. So this like 10 minutes real time that I spent looking at those damn bedspreads was like just wasted. And yeah, here I am trying out different beds before I ultimately settle on this one again. And then I was trying to see what the room would look like if I had like pink furniture and changed it to a green carpet. But I decided to go with the green furniture and the pink carpet just to differentiate it a little bit from the other areas of the house. And I really struggled to put like lamps in this room because all the lamps in The Sims 2 are awful. Like they really, and I mean, this game came out in 2004, like obviously it's dated, but I mean, really, there's just no like normal lamps, really. And the ones that are normal lamps, they come in like weird color swatches or they're super small or super big and it just doesn't work. But I ended up putting those two little base game lamps that kind of look like they look like lamps from like grandma's house or something. And then I put those same little like lace curtains in here, but I went with a green swatch instead. And here I am decorating Ruby. Ruby is the new baby. I'm decorating her little nursery area over here. I end up going with the half a crib, I think it's called. Yeah, the half a crib. It's on Mod The Sims. I'm sure, honestly, if you play The Sims 2, you probably have this thing because it's a very popular piece of custom content. But I ended up putting that in here because I didn't really know how else I was going to be able to squeeze in like a changing table. So I put that little half crib, half changing table right there. And then I did have to turn move objects on for this dresser, I believe, or for whatever dresser I place. Or maybe not because I scooched it to the side a little bit. I don't know. Either way, the dresser is like kind of close to the side of that bed, which it should be fine because I think they should still be able to walk there. And even if she can't, she can just sleep on the other side of the bed. I mean, she doesn't have anybody else sleeping in this bed with her. So it should be fine, but I might have to change that later on. And I put a lot of clutter just in this house in general, but I tried to make especially the areas where I think The Sims would be a lot of the time more cluttered. Like I put that little cork board up on Brandy's wall, and I put like those papers on her dresser that kind of look like past due bills to me because they're like pink and they've got like the red warnings all over them. And I put that little jar of money on Brandy's bed. And then here I went to go finish this bathroom up. I don't know if I actually ended up putting. Well, I guess I ended up putting that little like picture with the hands and like the signatures, like one of those things people used to do at weddings. I don't know if people do that anymore, but they used to do that at weddings where like all the guests would come sign like the picture or something. I don't know. So I put that up in the bathroom, which is kind of a weird place for it, but I didn't really know what else to put above that toilet, which again is why I want to look for some like shelves, like some Sims 3 conversions. And then now we're moving to the outdoor area. I really wanted to find a different fence that I could use in this part of the house, but I couldn't find any that matched as well as the one that I had already put, so I just went back to that one. And it looks nice anyway, so, I think it turns out okay in the end. But I was kind of hoping that I could find like a cheaper looking fence because I do think that this trailer does still look kind of, I don't know, kind of suspiciously nice, I guess, on the outside. Which honestly, I'll be honest, the indoors of this house is like pretty cozy. But I mean, Brandi is a sloppy sim, so you just know it's like gross in there. Like, there's no way that girl is cleaning this house as often as she needs to. But here I am trying to figure out the landscaping because originally they have like that little fenced in area outside with all of the little bushes, and I wanted to have something kind of similar to that, but I mean, also, I don't really think that the Broke's front lawn would be like really well groomed. But I ended up putting like a bunch of little flowers and everything out here anyway. And let's see, I'm putting some terrain paint. Sorry, excuse me. I'm putting some terrain paint out here now, which the Sims 3 terrain paint is like kind of horrible to deal with because there's no like settings to like how much you're spraying, if that makes any sense. Like in the other games, you can choose like a lighter kind of spray or like a really heavy spray, like which really like affects what the ground looks like. And in The Sims 2, there's only one setting, so you kind of have to be careful with that when you're trying to like put just like light, casual terrain painting around. And then in the backyard here, I was searching for a chain link fence because I mean I figured that's something that they'd have in the trailer park. I mean they have chain link fences not in the trailer park, so it's not just specifically for areas that are for people who are more underprivileged. But I ended up putting this little chain link fence all the way around the house, and then I left this kind of big opening because I'd imagine if anybody in this town is going to have like a fence that's kind of falling apart, it's going to be Brandi. Um, so yeah, and then I put the junk car from, I think it's from Free Time, and they can come out and like work on the engine and work on the body of the car. So that'll be something. I don't know if it's going to be something fun for Dustin to do, but it will be something for Dustin to do. And at the end of it, maybe we'll have a car. And maybe he'll like doing tinkering, I think. I don't know. And then I put this big pit in the ground where this is meant to be like kind of where Skip drowned and like the pool out back. I don't think it's the exact area, but like, oh well, I don't really care. And again, I saw somebody on like Reddit do that. So it's not completely my idea. But yeah, we're actually coming to the end of this video right now, and I'm sorry if you just heard my phone go off, but we're coming to the end of this video right now, getting into the screenshots. Here we go. Yeah, here's the screenshots. I hope you enjoy it. But thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you did like this video, please leave a like on this video, and then feel free to comment, anything that you want to say. If you have any questions as to where custom content is from, I'll try to answer. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody.